FM News Talk 97.1.
On demand audio.
No.
Right now you're high. Hey, ain't you big hitter? But now I'm back from the dead. I'm bringing back all my knickers.
What, knickers? No, it's okay. I can say knickers because I wear knickers.
Man, you think I say that? What's wrong with you? I'm just talking about my show back then. I rock with my shoe, but let's go back to the first point I was trying to
Exactly. That is an excerpt from the video, Mr. America, which, you know, Steven Crowder, he's a regular on the show. He's on every Friday. And Chris Lash. And again, we have the same last name because we're kind of related. We're married. Right. In studio with me right now is Brad Young. He's a fantastic performer. He's also a producer. He produced this track, Mr. America, and he was in the video. Yeah. And it's a pleasure to have you in studio with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dana. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time on your show.
I know.
I should have been here a long time ago, but it's cool.
I know. Well, and maybe we should make it like something regular as well to have you come in. Like he's like, you're like, I don't know about that. I'm just like waiting because you come from the music side of things. So stepping into politics, even just over this, it's a new arena for you. And so when Steven and Chris first approached you about this video, because you produced these tracks, and I know you did it. We were talking about this right when we were on break. You did this like in 2 days' time.
Actually, I did the track in one day. So.
Oh my God! So yeah, it's even he worked even more magic in a shorter amount of time.
Right. Yeah.
So they're like, sit down and make some magic right now. We have the one day to do it.
Right. They put me under the gun, but it was really cool though. So it just challenged me, and we had the most important thing is we had so much fun doing this record.
You could tell.
Like, oh my God! Like we had to stop the track like 30 times because we were on the floor laughing. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, especially the whole knickers thing, like that was just hilarious to me. We, the way we thought it out and everything. So it was just so much fun making it. My first time doing something political, and it was absolutely hilarious. So I loved it.
You guys could tell you were having so much fun, and you make a cameo in the video as well.
Yeah, I did a little cameo.
Yeah, when they first approached you about this and said, "This is what we want to do," what did you think initially?
You know what? Honestly, I was all in. I sit down, I talk to Chris all the time about his political views and everything, and I was totally down with it. I'm not a Democrat nor am I a Republican, but I do have conservative views. So a lot of things that Chris and we speak about, and I heard the lyrics first. Mm-hmm. Both of them, I was right there. We all wrote together or whatever, and I agree with everything. So I had no problem with it.
Right.
It was all good with me.
So they did the video. It was hysterical, and especially that one part where he's talking about his pants because they were wearing and I'm going to say this too. Chris was wearing in the video. He was wearing my socks, my long socks, because they didn't have like the full knickers ensemble at Johnny Brock's Dungeon, so he had to wear my socks with it, which was and I haven't gotten them back yet. I just now realized this.
Because he has them on right now.
He probably has them. Yeah, he probably has them on right now. So the video was hysterical. They just launched. It was Friday that this video dropped, and they performed it at CPAC. And while they were at CPAC, there was a Huffington Post writer, blogger that was in the audience. We were all there, and they had the video going while they did this performance. She goes back to Huffington Post and suggests, oh, well, they had these white rappers, and they dropped the N-word here at this performance. And then Gawker picks it up. That was in their headline. All of these other, and these aren't like I was telling you, they're not like classical liberal, de Tocqueville sort of classical liberal sites. These are way far left websites that were saying this about them, which wasn't true. And I started thinking about all of this, and I thought about you. I'm like, well, you produced this track, and it seems, I mean, what did you make of all of this nonsense?
First off, let me just say this because I'm a part of the hip hop world. I'm black. I'm from the ghetto. All of that. Chris is one of my best friends in this whole wide world, and Crowder and I, Steve and I just became friends. The first thing I want to say is this. To defend hip hop, you can't say white rappers anymore because hip hop is not black. It's not a black thing anymore. It's a worldwide thing. It's global. You have hip hop in every single country on this earth. Hip hop that's how big hip hop is. So that's the first thing that offends me when somebody say white rappers.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right, and that's how they were characterizing it too.
The second thing that offends me is for them to say that the knickers joke, they dropped the N-word. It was not. The thing about it is that how this came about was when Steve said that, when Steve was rapping and said in the studio, we literally all did stop like, wait a minute. And he did really literally say, no, I'm talking about the pants. And we all fell out. And we're like, yo, we have to do that. We have to put this in the, we all thought it was funny. It was me and Chris, Tony, Steve. I had a friend. My friend Halima was there. It was just a lot of people in the room, and we all fell out laughing. It was the most funniest thing to all of us. And so I don't see how people can take it so serious and be so silly about it. It's annoying, for real, to be honest with you.
Well, right, and of course nobody mentions your involvement. You know, HuffPo, Gawker, Crooks and Liars. You know, these Media Matter sites. None of them mentioned your involvement. All they kept focusing on was, I mean, they quite literally made it up. They also said that CPAC was having white nationalist racist panels and all this kind of stuff, which was like, I never saw that on the program, nor would we be there if there was something like that happening. But it's, you know, and I was asking you this, does it feel, I would feel insulted to think that these people think that I had involvement in something that would be personally offensive to me and that I wouldn't be aware of it.
Right. That's right. It's like basically saying, oh, they're taking advantage of this poor black guy who really doesn't understand, you know, their political views. And that's not true at all. I understand everything that's going on. And nobody's taking, you know, it's discrediting me as, you know, for who I am and everything that I stand for. Nothing about it was racist. It was all, you know, in humor. We were poking fun at people who are racist. Basically, actually, that's what we were doing.
Right.
You know, it just really makes my blood boil when I hear this.
I can tell you're getting mad about it.
How upset I get about this. It really makes me mad because if people knew, I could guarantee you it wouldn't have been, if the world could have been there and seeing how this played out, you know, everybody would have laughed. It was such a great joke, and I just don't see how people can be so serious and sensitive about it. Can we just get past it?
Right. One of the things that Stephen was saying was that everyone kind of bought into, you know, they were making fun of the hysterical overreaction that we often see from, you know, people that we disagree with politically, and it seems as though their point was proven. Do you think that?
I think so. I think so because, you know, when we did it, we knew that a lot of people who, like I say, the silly people, I just call them silly because that's what they are. You know, we kind of felt like, you know, they're going to make a big deal out of this, but so what? Who cares? You know,
right?
We just having fun. We're just doing our thing. So why not?
And it's we see this all the time in comedy, and you know I see stuff like this on HBO, and you know watching Chappelle's show and watching Tosh.0 and all of these,
right,
you know,
exactly.
and no one ever says anything, but it's because of what they believe, you know, personally, what their personal politics are.
Right.
That I feel that they were targeted. Is that so? Do you kind of feel the same way that they were?
I believe that absolutely, because this is the same thing I told Chris. I said, Chris, you know, if this was anybody else, it would just be a joke. It would just be funny. But because it's you and Steve, now it's a big racial, it's a racial thing. You know, it's just, I hate that people, first off, I hate that people do my friends like that.
Right.
You know, it's my friend. So of course I'm going to take it a lot more personal, because when people say that, especially like Chris, I've been knowing Chris for years. So when people say that Chris is a racist, it really makes me mad, because how could he be racist and we are friends?
Right.
We are best friends, you know? So that gets under my skin really, really bad. This whole situation got under my skin really bad. I said, yo, whatever I need to do, I have to just stand up and tell the truth. I'm not like this person that's so political and all that. I do understand politics.
Right.
But I have to stand up and just be honest and just tell the truth. I can't hide in the background and say, well, you know what? It's about me protecting my career and everything. No, it's just about the truth.
And you saying that, I think is so explosive, because just I love that you just said that, because there are so many people that are in entertainment, that are in music, that are in film, and they see stuff bad happen and they know it's wrong and they don't say anything. And, and speaking the truth, sadly, right now in our current culture is bad. It's explosive. I mean, it's controversial to speak the truth.
It is.
And that's to me is one of the most troubling things about all of it.
You know what? We just live in an upside down world right now.
We do. Brad, we have to get you on here regularly. I'm telling you, because I'm hearing you in my headphones and you sound good in my headphones, and I'm thinking Brad Young would be nice to have on regularly. Just consider it.
You know what? I consider it, you know.
Okay. All right.
I consider telling the truth all the time. That's what I do. I'll just speak the truth.
And if you
just speak what I feel.
Well, I appreciate you doing that, and you have a great talent, and you do fantastic work. I'm a huge fan of yours. And
thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Brad Young, everybody, the producer of Mr. America, so much more. He's a super popular, very well-known producer. So I appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.